Hey guys, welcome back. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Are you able to see my screen, the Excel screen?
Okay.
You can, right? Okay. I'm going to generate some random number right now, okay, on the screen. And let's say marks, okay. Uh, so there is a function called for generating any random number. We have a function called rand between. Okay, and here we need to give the two extreme values in which you want um, the numbers to be generated. So I want between 1 and 100. So I can give 1 comma 100, and it will generate any random number between 1 to 100, anything. Okay, so I'm just generating these numbers. So you can see these numbers are generating, but after you have generated these numbers, please note that you have to always copy and paste the values so that they don't keep changing, because every event, every time a calculation happens on this sheet, if I press F9, F9 is basically a shortcut key for performing calculations on the whole workbook. Okay, if you go to formulas and if you see the calculate options over here, there are automatic and automatic except for data tables and manual. Okay, or there is something called as calculate sheet or calculate now. So if you go to calculate now, you will see the what do you see in the bracket? The shortcut key is F9, right? Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I press F9 again, see, do you see those numbers changing?
Yes, yes.
Right? So what we do is, in order to avoid these things, once I've generated my random numbers, I'll just copy and I'll just go and paste value or paste special and paste values to them. Okay, I just paste value. Now the function is removed. Whatever was the reported value, that is the reported value right now. It will stay as it is. It will not change if I press F9. Nothing will change. It's static. Okay, now to this row number, I want to sort out the values. Okay, let me just zoom this. Are you guys able to see it on
Yes,
the
sir.
screen? Okay,
Yes, sir.
um, just a moment. So, what we will do is, I will just try to beautify this particular thing so that you guys should be able to see this. Okay, now what I do is I just go to view, I just remove the grid lines. It's basically to beautify, enhance the visibility of this particular thing. Now you can see that these are the cells, okay? Now if I want to sort this number, now because these are numbers, okay? These are numbers, so I will just select them and I'll go to data, and in data there is a function called as, or a group of functions called as sort and filter. So we were going to cover this filters, advanced filter in the coming session, maybe next Saturday, because these are to be, it is used usually clubbed along with the charts. Okay, so I just wanted to take you through the main important functions like VLOOKUP, index match, and hence I kept these small things for a particular weekend where we can take all these small things and we can just get them out of the window. So let's cover it anyways now. So I'm just selecting this entire range of cells and I can have two options to sort. Either I can sort in the ascending order or I can sort in the descending order, because these are numeric functions. So ascending order is something like this: sort smallest to largest. And if you go in the reverse order, it's largest to smallest is the descending order. So if I want to do it in the ascending order, I will just click on this and you will see the smallest number is right at the top, which is 13, 14, and the highest number is right at the bottom, 87, 94, 98. If I want to do this sorting in the reverse order, I need to again select this range and then I need to click on this largest to smallest. What will happen is the largest number will appear on the top and the smallest number will appear at the bottom. Any confusion on this?
No, sir.
Uh, Vajanti, are you okay with this?
It's clear. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm coming back to this VLOOKUP, oh sorry, this match function. Now we understood what basically match does it. Long story short, it will, if I give it a position, if I give it a lookup value, I will expect in return to get the position of that particular lookup value. Okay, all I need to do is give it also a range and a lookup value, and in that range, wherever that lookup value is, it will give me the position of that lookup value. Now let's see how is it applied in real life. Okay, now for real life, this is what example which I gave it earlier to Rashmi before you join. So here you can see from our previous weekend, this is the reference table on the top, which you can see it's coming with the boomerang and everything. But what I did is I basically I changed this the column numbers. Okay, initially it used to have price column as a second column, and the part number was usually the fourth column. The flight range was the third column. I shuffled these columns, and I before I shuffled this, I had asked Rashmi to apply a VLOOKUP and tell me what is a part number, what is a flight range, what is the price of each of these things. Now, I think I will not be able to recreate that particular thing because we lost that table which was initially kept. But let me see. Okay. So what we had done is the initial table was something like this. Just a moment. It was this for the part number. The part number was somewhere here, and then the price was the second column. I think it's a flight. This was positioned in this particular way. So initially, this is how the column was. And what we had done is we had asked Rashmi to pick up the part number from here. Oh, was it
Fourth
the
column.
other way? Sorry?
Part number was in the fourth column.
Yeah, yeah.
Fourth.
I'm just going to refer to this table over here.
Mm.
Part number. And then and just go here. And this is the flight range, just column number 3. And here comes the price, which is the fourth column, right? No, it's the second column.
Right.
Second column. And now if we go down, so initially the exercise which was given to Rashmi was that take these product numbers and give me the answers to this particular thing. Okay. So I had asked her to come up with the answers for this particular thing. Uh, and her answer was very simple. She applied a VLOOKUP. She applied a lookup for with this particular column, A58. In this case, she locked the cell A because as we copy this cell from here to here, uh, the reference to the A should not move. Otherwise, if A is not locked, it will start referring to B. Okay, that's the reason why we we locked that A, and we said, okay, once we have locked A, we also locked the table, reference table completely. And then she pointed me that this part number is the fourth column in this reference table. So she gave me the answer as 4, 0, and that gave us the part number correctly on this. Then we copied this formula and we pasted over here. Here we just changed the column number to 3 because flight range was the third column in the reference table. We got this. And last thing was the price. which was referencing to the second column in the reference table, and we got this. But what I told Rashmi was that if your table structure has changed, or your reference number, or your reference table has changed over a period of time, say this is how the reference table now looks like. The boomerang product line is same, but your part number is now your second column, price is your third column, flight range is your fourth column. Okay, if this is a particular case, and say in your file you're still kept, you're planted your formulas in this particular way. Okay, so I'm just going to refer back to this new table, to the original table which we had planted. Okay, and here also I'll change the reference to the table, and once the reference to the table is changed, we will again refer to the table. Okay, so what happens is, this is what we learned. When I move the columns of this table to this particular structure, and when I saw the formulas were not giving me the right information. Although the formulas were correct, they were referencing to the right table, but the column number, which was 4,0, was actually pointing out to the flight range. And hence, instead of part number, I was getting a flight range number. Instead of flight range, I was getting the price. Instead of getting the price, I was getting a part number. So it was all because I had manually planted the column number. I had kept the column number 4,0, 3,0, 2,0. So the main question over here, which I asked was that is it possible that we can remove these dependency on manually plugging in the column number? So is there a way in which we can dynamically get the column number, and we don't need to manually populate any number like 4,0, 3,0, 2,0? So is there a way in doing and getting the position of the column number? So that is how we hopped on to the concept of match function. Now that you have understood the match function, that match function gives us the position number. Now, if we try to plan this formula dynamically, uh, so can can any one of you help me with the VLOOKUP function? How the VLOOKUP function will look like after we got the match function also in that? Does anyone wants to try? Of course, I will definitely plug in the formula, but does anyone want to try before I hand over the answer to you? First of all, did you guys understood the problem?
Yes.
Sorry.
But my question is why can't we lock the column 4 in that case?
No, you can't lock. Okay, how would you lock the column? Can you explain me what exactly are you referring
It's
to?
here now. Suppose it is 3, comma 0.
Hmm.
So you are saying that in case the column shifts, the answers will be different. That's the reason we are looking at a match value. So
Yeah.
like you have locked the cells before, like the data table, you have locked it. You
Yes,
have
yes.
locked one single cell. Why can't we lock the number 3 in that case?
See,
It'll be
even if I lock the number 3, it's locking only to the column number as 3. Whatever the column will appear in the reference table, that column it will pick up. But if that column
okay.
has changed from price to a part number, then only part number will appear. The 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 There
Yeah,
is
I
not
got
an
it. So
issue.
now it has to be a mix of VLOOKUP and match
Correct.
in case you have to make a dynamic.
That's correct. That's the point which I'm trying to drive you guys. Okay.
Okay.
So does anyone want to take a shot on this? Please
So
ignore this table,
we okay.
refer to this table, and this is what where we are going to plan the formula.
Which table should we refer to? The left hand side
The left
column.
hand side, yeah.
Okay. So is equal to
Yeah.
we look up,
Hmm.
select belen,
Okay, should I lock
Table
this?
range. Yes,
Uh,
you have to.
what, F and 58 both, or
Yes.
only F? Okay, that's nice. So I put F4 and lock this.
Sir, I
Now,
didn't get why you locked only F and not 58.
okay. If I do like this, okay, let's continue with this formula. I will lock
Okay, okay,
both F
fine.
and 58 as per your desire. Okay.
No, sir.
No, no, let's do it until we don't see. This is a sandbox setting, you know.
That's
Until
true.
we
Yes.
don't do an error, we will not come to know why exactly that error happened. So let's see. Let's go ahead with this formula. Let's see.
Okay. Table array.
Okay, what is a table array?
Enter A5 to
A52
A5 to
D D15.
D15.
Should I lock this entire table range?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now what? Now we are expecting
Comma.
column index number.
So column index number. Have we studied this? I mean, oh, sorry, column index number. You have to part 2.
Okay, so are we going to type manually 2 over here? I want this 2 to come dynamically. That's the whole
So index number.
index.
Okay, so you have to select B5 to B5 to B15.
B5 to D15. That is
Range range lookup. Sorry, from A5 to B15. Is it?
so range. So the lookup array is already picked up over here. We are looking for output as column index number. So
So here then match has to be taken.
yes, here the match function will
Okay.
come.
So
Okay,
match. Yeah.
match. Match what? What is the lookup value which you will be using now?
Part number.
Sorry. What is
Lookup
it,
value is
Rashmi?
Part number.
F,
Part number. That's correct. So I have referred to this part number. Now what? Should I
comma lookup array.
lookup array? Where is the lookup array? Which
That is B5.
The A5. The A5 to down.
if I say down, वापस ये
Only
It will
part
be
number.
15.
Then I think B15.
B5 to B15.
B5 to
5. No, A5 to B15.
A A5 to okay. Let me correct you guys. First of all, you're looking for part number, right? The lookup
Okay, sir.
value is
So
part
sorry,
number.
a B5 to B15.
B5 to B15, okay. But part number आपको अगर चाहिए part number है, you're looking for exact match with part number. यहाँ पे किधर भी A5 से D15 लो या B5 to B15 लो. Where is the part number actually located? Part number is located on B4. Getting my point? So what you will do is you will need to select the headers only in the match function. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you need to just select the headers over here and lock the headers also. और ये G57 है. Please ensure to lock this also because okay, let's not lock it. Let's see कि क्या blunder हो सकता है इसके साथ अगर lock नहीं किया तो. Okay.
सर क्यों
Let's see.
लेकिन आपने सिर्फ हेडर सिलेक्ट किया?
Because मुझे सिर्फ part number
Already
चाहिए था.
select. हाँ.
मुझे सिर्फ पार्ट नंबर चाहिए था और ऐसे फॉर्मूला में फ्लाइट रेंज और प्राइस को देखूंगा, राइट? तो मेरा मैच फंक्शन क्या बोलता है कि you give me the lookup value, you also give me the range where I need to look up for this value. The range will always be the headers because ये सब headers दे रहा हूं मैं lookup में. I'm never giving them these numbers over here. These numbers are already taken care of by the VLOOKUP. I'm interested in the part number, the headers, the position, right?
Yes.
तो मैं अगर ये कॉमा 0 करता हूँ यहाँ पे, okay, that is the exact match. So if you see, now the match function is done. Now I put a comma. और VLOOKUP में क्या हम लोग उसको भी exact match करें तो comma 0 हो जाएगा. Now if I press Control Enter, I'm getting the part number. That's correct. और अभी एक चीज ध्यान में रखो आप, ये match function जो दिख रहा है ना आपको, only select the match function. Go to the edit mode, select only the match function, and then you press F9. Okay, आप अगर F9 प्रेस करोगे ना, आपको क्या दिख रहा है उधर? What do you see over there?
D15 to
नहीं आपको
नहीं, second column, like second number 2.
ये मैच फंक्शन था ना मेरा, आप देख रहे हैं, आप
number,
फॉर्मूला
yes.
बार में देख रहे हैं आप लोग? Okay,
Yes.
here. Okay, if I press F9, what is the output
Yes.
of the match
2,
function?
2.
It's 2.
Column number.
So is
Yes.
that same as what we learned? 2,0 हम लोग डालते थे,
Yes.
Correct.
right? So I'm
Yes.
trying to dynamically get that part 2, you know, that column number. अभी इसका मजा देखो क्या होता है. अभी ये जब आप F9 करोगे ना, प्लीज डोंट कीप इट एज इट इज, अदरवाइज आपका पूरा मेहनत पानी में जाएगा. Please press Ctrl Z back. I just wanted to show you कि output of the match function is column number 2. So because it's saying that कि you were looking out for part number, and in this range you were looking out for from A4 to D4. उसके उस रेंज में कॉलम नंबर 2 या पोजीशन नंबर 2 पे पार्ट नंबर है. So it gave you the position as 2, and that fitted nicely with the VLOOKUP function as 2,0, and hence we got the answer as part number over here. You get my point? कि नहीं?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I got it. But what is the last thing again? 0 you have added.
ये 0 जो है ये
For
VLOOKUP
exact.
में
For
exact function.
exact.
Yeah, for
Okay.
exact VLOOKUP of exact. और मैच का एग्जैक्ट वो अलग है, उसको मैंने कॉमा 0 करके ब्रैकेट क्लोज कर दिया, और फिर बाहर मैंने ये जो VLOOKUP का जो लास्ट वाला 0 था, दैट इंडिकेट्स इट्स एन एग्जैक्ट मैच. गेटिंग?
Yeah.
ओके, नाउ लेट्स लुक कि क्या ब्लेंडर हो सकता है मेरे फॉर्मूलाज को मैंने लॉक किया है या नहीं लॉक किया है उसके वजह से. नाउ इफ आई कॉपी दिस इनटू दिस फ्लाइट रेंज, okay, let's look what happens. अब मैं इसको कॉपी कर रहा हूँ और यहाँ पे आके फ्लाइट रेंज में पेस्ट कर रहा हूँ. आई एम गेटिंग 25. तो फ्लाइट रेंज भी मेरे को करेक्टली मिल गया. आर यू हैप्पी विद दिस? फ्लाइट रेंज इज करेक्ट.
Yes.
वी गॉट 25 बिकॉज यहाँ पे क्या हुआ, अभी अगर आप मैच फंक्शन देखोगे ना यहाँ पे, तो मैच फंक्शन क्या कर रहा है, मैच फंक्शन इज गोइंग एंड लुकिंग आउट फॉर लुकअप वैल्यू एज इसका lookup value is coming up as 4,0. Its output is 4,0. The reason being is it's looking for flight range as a parameter in this headers. Of flight range 4th position पे आ रहा है. So that's why it's giving the answer as 4,0. Getting my point?
इसमें we don't have to change the column number again and again. वो
नहीं
अपने आप-
करना नहीं, अपने आप करेगा.
हाँ.
डायनेमिक बना दिया आपने
Yes.
इसको. लेकिन अभी इसके अंदर एक एरर है. ओके, वो एरर क्या है मैं बताता हूँ अभी आपको. रुको. फर्स्ट कॉलम इज
Lock किया.
फर्स्ट रो
नहीं,
एकदम
58 को lock.
okay. First row is absolutely correct. आपका एक correct है. Okay, this is 26.95, which is also matching with this 26.95 because यहाँ पे आप price को match कर रहे थे. तो जब आप अगर match function को अगर आप execute करोगे यहाँ पे, if you go and press F9 over here, you will come to know it's 3,0 and price is the third column. That's why 3,0 nicely fits in with your VLOOKUP, and hence you get a nice looking formula. Now let's look. अगर मैं इस फॉर्मूला को नीचे स्क्रॉल करता हूँ, नीचे कॉपी करता हूँ, तो क्या होगा? टन टन. ये कैसा फॉर्मूला है जो सिर्फ फर्स्ट रो के लिए काम करता है लेकिन बाकी रोज के लिए काम ही नहीं कर रहा है. Okay, Now let's look at why it happened in this particular fashion. Okay,
Maybe
अगर
you have
मैं
locked it.
I locked it. I didn't lock it. I just did as per you guys suggested, right?
I said only A. I said
Okay.
only lock A.
Okay.
A call.
Let's look at this. अगर मैं कार्लोटा के इधर आके F2 मारता हूँ तो क्या हो रहा है? Because we now Vijay ask answering your question. You gave me that question. Why are we locking F and 58? Why are we not locking both of them? राइट अगर मैं
Yeah.
F और 58 दोनों को लॉक करूंगा तो क्या होता है कि मेरा जो सेकेंड रो में मैं फॉर्मूला रेफर कर रहा हूं इट इज स्टिल रेफरेंसिंग टू F58 इज लॉक्ड इट्स नॉट मूविंग it has locked both the row number and the column number so as my formula is going down or on the left to right it's not moving at all it's still referencing to balance getting my point
You just lock 58, then what happens?
हाँ अभी 58 को लॉक कर रहा हूं मैं ओके तो लेट्स डू इट लाइक दिस ना मैं यहाँ से कर रहा हूँ ओके बिकॉज मुझे वो फॉर्मूला फिर कॉपी करना पड़ेगा तो मैं 58 को लॉक कर रहा हूँ ओके राइट आई जस्ट कॉपी दिस डाउन कंट्रोल डी इसको कॉपी किया पर यहाँ पे 58 को भी मैंने लॉक किया तो रो नंबर 58 इज गेटिंग लॉक्ड आई एम यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला ऑन द रो नंबर 59 और वो रेफर कर रहा है 58 को ही भले वो एफ कॉलम को मैंने लॉक नहीं किया है सो इट्स स्टिल रेफरेंसिंग टू द ओल्ड row number only it's not moving so the whole thing is whenever we do a VLOOKUP okay the thumb rule is जब भी आप लुकअप करोगे ना लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में जैसा इस केस में मैं बैलेंस को रेफर कर रहा हूं तो ऑलवेज अ थंब रूल इज लॉक योर कॉलम डोंट लॉक योर रो ओके लॉक द कॉलम ओके अगर आप इसको कॉलम को लॉक करोगे इसका बेनिफिट ये होगा कि ये चीज अगर मैं कॉपी कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे कंट्रोल बी इट्स वर्किंग फाइन नाउ इफ आई गो डाउन ओके अभी ये काम क्यों नहीं कर रहा है आई टेल यू व्हाई इट्स नॉट हैपनिंग बट दैट्स अ सेकंड रीजन फॉर इट but your main reason is if you press F2 over here you're still referencing to the right lookup value which is Carlota because when you were over on the top तो यहाँ पे आप कर रहे थे 58 को रेफर और कॉलम F को आपने लॉक किया हुआ था और यहाँ पे जब आप गए तो आपका बिकॉज कॉलम F लॉक था इट डिड नॉट मूव इट स्टिल रो 58 तो लॉक नहीं है 58 को लॉक किया नहीं है लेकिन वो उसी कॉलम को रेफर कर रहा है अदरवाइज इफ यू हैड नॉट लॉक्ड इट एट ऑल अगर आप लॉक करते नहीं यहाँ पे समझ लो मैंने 58 F को भी लॉक नहीं किया if I copy and paste this over here तो सीन क्या होता है F2 जब मारूंगा तो F58 की जगह पे it's moved along with my formula and it's now pointing to G58 instead of
358.
F58 getting my point
Yes, sir.
Vajanti are you able to understand
No, sir, this last point I didn't understand.
ओके आपको ना थोड़ा सा इसका एब्सोल्यूट और रिलेटिव सेल रेफरेंस का प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा बट इफ यू प्रैक्टिस दैट पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट इट शुड वर्क फॉर यू तो इसमें क्या है कि ये F58 जो इस तरीके से लिखा है ना मैंने दिस इज कॉल्ड रिलेटिव रेफरेंस ओके आई एम सेइंग आई एम ऑन द सेल नंबर राइट नाउ इज G58 and I'm doing a VLOOKUP with the lookup value is F58 okay which is not locked लेकिन जब ये फॉर्मूला कॉपी होके यहाँ से बाजू में पेस्ट होता है तो instead of getting the right answer it is instead of referencing to balance it is moving because it's a relative cell reference है तो relative cell reference में होता क्या है it is referencing to one cell on the left hand side मेरा एक्चुअल प्लांट ऐसे ही हुआ था फॉर्मूला मेरा प्लांट हुआ था कि वन सेल ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इज माय बूमरैंग सो दैट विल स्टे एज इट इज लेकिन मैंने लॉक नहीं किया कॉलम एफ को तो उसके वजह से क्या हुआ कि मेरा पूरा का पूरा सेल मूव होके जी पे आ गया अभी so instead of still referencing to balance, it's now started referring one cell on the left hand side to part number instead of boomerangs. तो वो गलत हो गया मेरा. इस गलती को मैं कैसे सुधारूंगा? I'll use absolute cell reference. Absolute cell reference मतलब मैं कॉलम को या रो को लॉक करूंगा या दोनों को लॉक करूंगा. So in this case, how do I lock it? I go to F58, I press F4. The first time I press, both my row and column gets locked. But will it serve my purpose? No, because अगर ये दोनों लॉक हो गए तो जैसे ही मैं फॉर्मूला ऊपर नीचे सब जगह पे लगाऊंगा तो मेरा बार बार उसका रेफरेंस से बैलेंस भी आएगा. If I copy this and I paste it over here everywhere, if I go to this last cell over here, it's still referencing to balance instead of referencing to P3 over here. Getting my point? तो इसलिए दोनों रो
Yes,
एंड
sir, I
कॉलम
got it.
तभी करोगे आप लॉक जब आपको एक ही सेल को बार बार रेफर करना है. ओके तो इसके लिए
Okay.
मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं 58 को लॉक नहीं करूंगा, सिर्फ F को लॉक करूंगा एंड दैट विल सॉल्व माय प्रॉब्लम एटलीस्ट फॉर टाइम बीइंग. अभी अगर मैं इसको कॉपी करूं अभी भी मेरा गलत है बिकॉज ऑफ द सेकंड ब्लंडर व्हिच आई डिड, लेकिन मेरा कार्लोटा इज स्टिल गेटिंग पॉइंटेड. इफ आई गो ओवर हियर आल्सो, लास्ट सेल में भी जाऊंगा मैं तो भी मुझे वो P3 को ही पॉइंट कर रहा है, which is correct. Okay, but there is another blunder which I did, and that is all thanks to you and Rashmi both. आप लोग ने क्या बोला मुझे, यहां तक आपने बराबर किया, till here everything is sorted. But when you go to the match function, I always told you कि जब आप match function करोगे, जब आप lookup को करते हो, please ensure कि lookup आपका locked हो. क्योंकि आप जब ऐसा टेबल में हो उसी फॉर्मूले को आप रीयूज करने वाले हो फॉर द नेक्स्ट रोज एंड कॉलम्स. यू हैव टू थिंक डायनामिकली. यू हैव टू थिंक अगर मैंने इसको G57 को लॉक नहीं किया है और ये फॉर्मूला जब मूव होता है नीचे यहाँ पे तो इट इज रेफरेंसिंग टू सनशाइन करेक्टली, बट यहाँ पे पार्ट नंबर को रेफर करने की जगह पे वो ऊपर का एक सेल को रेफर कर रहा है बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ माय फॉर्मूला वाज प्लांटेड. My formula was planted by referring to a cell which was above the particular cell, which was my part number at that moment of time. पर part number पे ही और टिका रहे तो उसके लिए मैं क्या करूंगा, ये रो पे part number है तो I'll lock my row, not my column. I'll lock only my row. So if I lock my row like this, 57 पे अगर इसको lock करके रखा है, now you see the magic. Now, if I copy and paste it everywhere, you'll see the answers coming so nicely and so beautifully. If I press F2, it's still referencing to the part number because मेरा जो G57 है, it is still locked. 57 row number lock हुआ है, भले वो G पे है. अगर वो यहाँ से move हो रहा है to the right hand side, तो वो 57 पे ही है. Because वहां पे मुझे दूसरा flight range भी मिलेगा, which is on column number H. And hence I have not locked my columns because मेरा column move होगा और change होगा, but मेरा row number same होगा because my headers are placed in that particular row. And that's what you need to understand, the basics of relative and absolute cell reference. Getting my point? आपको कुछ
Yes,
समझा
sir.
या बाउंसर गया सब दोनों को?
No, sir.
What you
So in match function, you have to lock the row, but
Yeah.
when you are considering VLOOKUP, you have to lock the column.
That's the 90% of the time that's how the situation works. 99% मैं बोलूंगा. 1% होता है जहाँ पे स्ट्रक्चर ही कुछ अजीब सा है and probably you will have to use your dynamic thinking looking at the structure. Okay, so इसमें अभी इसका powerfulness मुझे कैसा मालूम पड़ेगा? How would this power really come into existence? Okay, how would it come to know is that अभी ये टेबल है, ये टेबल मेरा, मैं आपको बोलता हूँ this will always give me correct values. Okay, मैं इस टेबल को थोड़ा कलरिंग कर लेता हूँ just to indicate कि ये टेबल मेरा सबसे करेक्ट वैल्यूज देने वाला है मुझे हमेशा. ओके, अभी आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे पार्ट नंबर, प्राइस ऑफ फ्लाइट रेंज है इस पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर में, राइट? डू यू गाइस एग्री और नॉट?
Yeah.
हाँ,
Yes.
अभी मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं इसको कॉपी करूंगा, old structure. I'm superimposing my old structure to my reference table, and you will see my table structure has not changed. My answers are still pointing me to the right answers. समझा कि नहीं आपको?
Correct.
तो उससे मॉरल ऑफ द स्टोरी क्या हुआ, क्योंकि मैंने डायनेमिकली अपना मैच फंक्शन यूज करके डायनेमिकली मैं इसका पता कर सकता हूं कि मेरा कॉलम कौन से पोजीशन पे है, वो फर्स्ट पोजीशन में होगा या सेकंड पोजीशन में होगा या थर्ड या फोर्थ या लास्ट पोजीशन में होगा, आई डोंट केयर. My match function will get me the correct position number, and eventually my answer will always be right.
सर अगर हेडर 57 से चेंज हो गया तो?
ये वाला, ये आपके हाथ में, ये आपको कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा. मैं बोल रहा हूँ with reference to the reference data, any changes which happens to the reference data, that you cannot, you don't need to worry. But ये अगर आपका कुछ चेंज हो गया तो आपको सिर्फ उतने ही फॉर्मूला को प्लांट करना पड़ेगा आपको. समझा मॉरल ऑफ द स्टोरी? आपको समझा कि कैसा डायनेमिक चीजों को मैं लेके आया और वी लुकअप के साथ उसको क्लब किया मैच को, एंड वी लुकअप मैच बिकम द मोस्ट डायनेमिक फंक्शन which can take care of all the problems for me in my lookup. Do you guys agree or you guys deny with this?
Yes, sir, we agree. I mean, I agree.
Okay, that's good. Now there is still one flaw in VLOOKUP, or rather I would say there are two flaws, okay, which I'm thinking कि हमारा ये session complete होने वाला है, it's under 2 minutes में ये complete होगा. What do you guys suggest? Are you guys okay to continue, or you guys want to close this at 6 and probably we can start tomorrow?
I'm okay, sir. Reshmi.
No, I don't want you guys to stress. I know you guys have home responsibilities also, so I completely respect that. But आप लोग मुझे बताओ, अगर अगर आज नहीं कर सकते, maybe tomorrow can we plan something at 3 to 6?
Yes.
Is that okay with you, Vajanti?
Yeah, okay. I'm okay in the morning also, sir.
Rashmi, are you fine with morning?
Yes, yes. Anytime.
तो morning पे कितना बजे करें कल?
10.
10
10
to
o'clock is good, sir.
10 to 1 is fine.
Uh,
या 10 to 12 करना है आपको?
sir, 9 से 12 कर दो.
9 to 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Rashmi?
Okay.
ओके बड़ा एकदम दिल पे पार रख के ओके बोला. ऑल फाइन विद यू कि 9 o'clock उठने को नहीं होगा लाइक मी?
जल्दी.
Okay, no worries. But I hope you guys enjoyed this match function and you understood this VLOOKUP match. दोनों का डायनेमिक पावर कितना स्ट्रांग है.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ओके, अब मैं आपको ना इसका एक फ्लॉ बताऊंगा. there's a small blunder. एक ब्लंडर तो उसका हम लोग सॉल्व ही नहीं कर सकते. वी हैव टू यूज सम न्यू टेक्निक टू सॉल्व दिस. पर एक जो सेकंड जो लिमिटेशन है वो कई हद तक हम लोग सॉल्व कर सकते हैं बाय यूजिंग इंडेक्स मैच. Okay, that's why it was important for you to introduce to match function. वो match function अकेला कोई काम का नहीं है, लेकिन जब match function use होता है with VLOOKUP, it brings up the dynamic power to your data, and when it's used with the index function, it also gives you a dynamic power. So we will meet tomorrow then in the morning at 9 o'clock. Okay, so please enjoy.